Good evening and welcome to the Gary Stuff Awards for 2024. What a show we have for you tonight. Invitations were sent to the great and the good of the model making world, and literally none of them have replied at all, which is a little awkward. I'm going to put it down to the fog that's hit the country over the last few days, but we'll continue anyway. Remember, these awards are based entirely on what I've made this year, not necessarily when the kit was actually released. The opinions and impressions that you see tonight are entirely my own, and I regret to say, no financial inducements of any kind has been offered by any of the nominees to the judges. Let's get on with the first award of the night, and this is the Technical Award. This celebrates advancements in the technology of model making. And the winner this year is DB Model Kits for reinventing the way small parts are moulded in polystyrene kits. For their upcoming Hawker Sea Fury in 1/32 scale, DBMK has put all the smallest parts onto moulded blocks within the frame. This means they can be kept on the block as a whole, can be taken from the frame and the tiny parts painted before being nipped off and fitted, just like the way small parts in resin aftermarket sets are handled. I'm looking forward to the Sea Fury, which will be available later this year, so do keep an eye out for it. Next, we'll take a look at the highly commended kits that I really enjoyed making, but which didn't quite make it to the top 3. First is the Fuga Majesté in 1/72 scale from Helle. This was a delight to make. The parts went together very well, and it makes an attractive kit of a quite unusual aircraft. I was also sent some Irish Air Corps markings for it, which I think really set off the design. Next is the Fairy Rotodyne in 1/72 scale from Airfix, a vintage classics release. Not the best kit to put together, it was still a welcome addition to the range, as I never made it first time round. I enjoyed the challenge, made easier with modern paint masks on CT scale models, and the decision to go with a what-if desert scheme. It was fun to do a bit of scratch building as well. Then there is the Messerschmitt ME 262 HG3 in 1/48 scale from Amusing Hobby. I love a what-if design. This one from Amusing Hobby was faultless in construction, with superb moulding and plenty of believable detail. I can't wait to build more of these when the new versions of this aircraft arrive. Finally, in the highly commended category is the Fairey FD2 Delta from Dora Wings in 1/72 scale. This shows what level of accuracy and detail is possible at 1/72 scale while still being very much buildable. A classic aircraft and a very fine kit indeed, which was a joy to put together. The next award is the You've Got to Be Kidding award, and it's given for the oddest product or release of the year. And this year the award goes to Airfix, this time for partnering with AV8 to market the Airfix watch range. The watches look okay if you're into that kind of appearance. They seem well made, but the branding I think is too brash for me, and I'm not sure how it's supposed to tie in with the Airfix brand. I do have one that was sent from an unnamed source. It's a dual time zone one, and I find reading the other time zone a proper pain. It's easier to see the local time and do the maths. I also think the price range is high for the demographic of Airfix's customer base. I'd be intrigued to know how these have sold. I suspect not all that well. And now on to the worst kit of the year, and this year that is the de Havilland Tiger Moth in 1/72 scale from Airfix. You may be surprised at this because it's not that bad a kit as such. My problem with it is that it was sold as a skill level 1 kit in a gift set that is squarely aimed at newcomers to the hobby, especially as it was sold during the summer Lidl offer for £6.99. Now, if you need to cut pieces off the fuselage and replace them with other parts, This is not something a brand new modeller should be asked to do. Neither, I think, is putting a biplane together. The idea of having a bracing piece between the interplane struts is fine, but then how does a novice remove them? I worry that too many youngsters will have tried this kit in the summer, found it too difficult to make and given up on model making. Enough of what we didn't like. This is what we did like. The countdown to the 2024 kit of the year. And in third place, the Hawker Hunter T7 in 1/72nd scale from Matchbox. This was the first of the Matchbox challenge kits sent to me by supporter Simon John and transported me back to the delights of model making of my youth. It's surprisingly good to make. It's actually quite faithful to the subject, but best of all, brought back memories of flying in a Hunter many, many years ago. I loved making it. I loved finding the decals for my Hunter, and it's still one of my favourite builds of the year. In second place is the awesome consolidated B24 Liberator in 1/72nd scale from Airfix. This is a very special kit, superbly designed and very buildable despite its complexity. Clever design features ensure high levels of accuracy and give very obvious options for future versions. Using the rear crew ladder as a strut if you can't get enough nose weight inside it is a nice touch. This will be a very popular kit in the Airfix range for some years to come, especially when an RAF Coastal Command version is eventually released. And finally, my kit of the year for 2024 is the Martin B26 Marauder in 1/48th scale by ICM. I don't know where to start with praising this kit. The manufacture and the detailing is superb. The plastic is really nice to work with, the parts very well designed, and the fit is excellent. It's beautifully researched with plenty of interior detail. I made mine using ICM's own paints for the majority of the build, and they worked wonderfully well. From start to finish, it was a joy. Were I to build another, there are a couple of things I'd probably change in the build sequence, but otherwise the instructions were clear and concise, and it even comes with a link to the added option of video instructions derived from the CAD files. This kit just ticked all the boxes for me this year, and I have no hesitation making it my kit of the year 2024. So that's it for tonight. What remains is for me to thank you for all of your support over the year, no matter in what way it manifests itself. I wish you joy of the new year and many hours of happy modelling in 2025. Thanks very much for joining me tonight, and goodbye.